The Eagles have been facing a challenging stretch, and it is impossible to ignore the struggles that have plagued their offense in recent weeks. Once celebrated as one of the most dynamic and unpredictable units in the league, the offensive side has appeared flat, lacking energy and cohesion. Fans are growing increasingly frustrated, questioning whether the current strategies are enough to reverse the downward trend. While Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator, has been a focal point for criticism due to his play calling, it is clear that the responsibility does not lie solely with him. The struggles are compounded by missed assignments, penalties, and inconsistent execution by the players, creating an offense that fails to operate at the level expected. The system, under Nick Sirianni's guidance, has moments of brilliance, yet the overall lack of rhythm and unpredictability has left the team vulnerable to opposing defenses. Conversations around potential changes in the coaching structure have intensified, with some suggesting that a fresh perspective could ignite the offense and bring life back to a unit that has appeared stagnant for weeks. The offensive line has been at the center of the team's difficulties. Expectations entering the season were high, with hopes that running backs, such as Saquon Barkley, would thrive behind a powerful and cohesive line. However, injuries and inconsistent performance have undermined those expectations. Jordan Mailata has not demonstrated the dominance that fans have come to expect. Landon Dickerson has faced challenges both in protection and due to injuries, and Cam Jurgens has struggled against aggressive defensive fronts. Tyler Steen has provided some stability, but the absence of key players such as Lane Johnson has had a profound impact on both the running and passing game. The interior line, weakened by injuries and underperformance, has failed to open lanes consistently, limiting Jalen Hurts' ability to make impactful plays. The running game, once a cornerstone of balance and versatility, has faltered, putting even more pressure on the quarterback to create opportunities in less than ideal circumstances. Beyond the trenches, the skill players have also struggled to find separation and maximize the chances presented to them. A.J. Brown, a physically dominant and explosive receiver, has delivered moments of excellence, yet the broader uncertainty surrounding the offense raises questions about his long-term commitment. If the team does not demonstrate progress, the potential for his departure becomes a topic of concern, as he has been a cornerstone of success and a consistent all-pro performer. The lack of offensive fluidity not only impacts immediate results, but also creates tension within the roster, highlighting the delicate balance between maintaining morale and demanding performance. The offensive struggles underscore the need for decisive action from the leadership, as fans watch closely to see if the talent on the roster will be fully realized. The Eagles' coaching staff, led by Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, has consistently shown a willingness to make significant moves to secure victories. The potential for change, whether through personnel adjustments or shifts in strategy, is a testament to the organization's commitment to winning. The inefficiency of the offensive line, particularly in short-yardage situations, has rendered some of the team's most reliable plays less effective. The predictability of the offense has made it easier for defenses to anticipate and disrupt key plays, limiting the unit's ability to produce at a high level. While Sirianni has emphasized fundamentals, ball security, and disciplined execution, the inability to translate these principles into consistent production has made games frustrating for fans and has magnified the impact of mistakes and missed opportunities. Injuries have further complicated the offensive picture. Physical setbacks have created gaps in both the offensive and defensive units, forcing untested players into significant roles. Young talents such as Drew Kendall, Cameron Williams, and Miles Hinton possess potential, yet they have not been able to deliver at the level required to sustain the offense. Each lapse on the line resonates throughout the entire unit, affecting both the running and passing games, and leaving Hurts to make plays under mounting pressure. The ripple effect of injuries and underperformance has created an environment where every misstep carries amplified consequences, and the team's margin for error has narrowed considerably as the season progresses. Timing is a critical factor as the Eagles move deeper into the regular season. With just over half of the schedule remaining, adjustments must be made swiftly if the team hopes to contend for the NFC Championship. The conference remains wide open, and there is a palpable sense that any delay in addressing the offensive issues could have long-term ramifications. A single spark, whether through a coaching adjustment or a shift in player utilization, could revitalize the offense and alter the trajectory of the season. The balance between patience and urgency is delicate, and leadership decisions in the coming weeks will signal the organization's commitment to achieving its championship aspirations. Sirianni's role as head coach has been marked by praise for his ability to instill discipline, toughness, and cohesion. The team's culture reflects attention to detail and a commitment to fundamentals. Yet even the strongest culture cannot fully compensate for systemic flaws on the field. The reliance on coordinators exposes vulnerabilities when the play calling and in-game adjustments fall short of expectations. The offense's lack of creativity and predictability have made it easier for opponents to defend and disrupt rhythm. Despite the defense maintaining competitiveness in recent matchups, the inability of the offense to sustain drives and convert opportunities has placed the Eagles in consistently challenging positions, highlighting the need for rapid and decisive responses to overcome these hurdles. Looking forward, the urgency to stabilize the offense is undeniable. Internal adjustments, personnel changes, or even a new offensive coordinator could provide the impetus needed to re-energize the unit. The players themselves must execute with greater consistency, while the coaching staff must identify and implement changes that maximize the team's considerable talent. The vulnerabilities exposed in recent games provide opponents with opportunities to exploit weaknesses, and without decisive action, the team risks slipping from contention despite its high-quality roster and well-established culture. Every game now carries heightened significance, and the team's ability to adapt and respond under pressure will be central to its success moving forward. The pressure on Jalen Hurts is evident as the quarterback faces the dual challenge of leading an offense underperforming across multiple areas and executing under defensive pressure. While Hurts' athleticism and past performances demonstrate his capability, the inconsistencies in offensive line support and play execution have created situations where his decisions are magnified and every error becomes costly. The lack of rhythm has limited the offense's explosiveness, while defensive schemes capitalize on predictable tendencies. The need for both individual excellence and collective cohesion has never been greater, as the team strives to recover momentum and re-establish itself as a contender in the NFC. Meanwhile, the discussion surrounding Kevin Patullo continues to intensify. While the offensive system is designed by Sirianni, its implementation and adaptability during games remain under scrutiny. Opposing defenses have grown adept at anticipating plays, largely due to predictability in schemes and lack of in-game adjustments. The debate over whether a change in the offensive coordinator role is necessary has become more prominent, with the potential introduction of a fresh voice representing a possible solution to reinvigorate the offense. The combination of coaching, play calling, and player execution will determine whether the Eagles can regain the fluidity and creativity that once defined this unit. A.J. Brown's presence adds both hope and urgency to the Eagles situation. His combination of size, speed, and physicality makes him one of the league's most dangerous threats when healthy. Yet the ongoing struggles of the offense raise pressing questions about his long-term future with the team. Brown's commitment will likely hinge on whether the organization can demonstrate tangible progress and a clear plan for revitalizing the unit. Without visible improvement, his patience may wear thin, and the potential for trade speculation could become a distraction. The coaching staff and management must carefully navigate this situation, balancing immediate performance needs with long-term stability to retain their star talent, while keeping the rest of the roster focused and motivated. The stakes are high, and the margin for error has never been smaller. The running game, which was anticipated to be a strength of the Eagles, has suffered from the offensive line's inconsistent play. Expectations were high for Saquon Barkley, whose vision and athleticism were expected to complement a dominant front, creating a balanced attack capable of keeping defenses off balance. Jordan Mailata and Landon Dickerson were also projected to anchor the line and provide stability in both pass protection and run blocking. Instead, injuries and inconsistent execution have limited effectiveness, and the backups, though talented, have not yet developed the cohesion or experience to compensate for the gaps. This lack of production on the ground has forced Hurts into difficult situations, often requiring him to extend plays under pressure or attempt passes in tight windows, increasing the risk of turnovers and missed opportunities. The absence of a reliable running game has further highlighted the need for depth and development along the offensive front, underscoring that immediate and strategic solutions are required to stabilize this critical unit. Situational football has remained one area where the Eagles have been competitive, with special teams maintaining a level of reliability. However, even strong performance in these areas cannot offset the deficiencies in the offensive execution. Missed blocks, failed routes, and breakdowns in timing all contribute to a broader sense of frustration, as the offense has struggled to convert potential opportunities into consistent scoring drives. Leadership, accountability, and discipline are critical, but the current system has exposed gaps in both preparation and adaptability, emphasizing the need for decisive interventions from the coaching staff. The balance between maintaining morale and demanding higher performance is delicate, yet it is essential to prevent the team from sliding further into inconsistency and underperformance. The NFC's competitive landscape amplifies the stakes for the Eagles. With no single team dominating the conference, opportunities to contend remain, but they are coupled with significant risk. Opponents are ready to exploit predictable tendencies and weaknesses in execution, making every play more consequential. Missed assignments, failed protections, and errors in timing can have disproportionate consequences, and each game now represents a test of the team's resilience, preparation, and ability to adapt under pressure. The Eagles' leadership must act swiftly to ensure that the team capitalizes on the opportunities present, rather than allowing frustration and inconsistency to define their season. The decisions made in the coming weeks could shape not only the remainder of this season, but also the long-term trajectory of the team's offensive philosophy. Brian Daboll has emerged as a potential solution for revitalizing the offense. His track record in developing quarterbacks and implementing versatile offensive schemes positions him as an intriguing candidate to bring a fresh perspective. Daboll's previous success with players like Daniel Jones and Josh Allen demonstrates his ability to maximize talent while adapting schemes to player strengths, a skill set the Eagles could leverage to overcome their current offensive stagnation. Bringing in a coach of his caliber could inject creativity, refine play calling, and energize both the offensive line and skill positions, potentially altering the course of the season. Whether Daboll serves as a transitional figure or a long-term solution, his presence would signal a proactive approach from the Eagles' management, demonstrating a commitment to addressing deficiencies while preserving the team's competitive potential. Player development and health remain central to the team's ability to recover. Depth across the offensive line, skill positions, and defensive units is critical in weathering the physical toll of the season. Young talents such as Drew Kendall, Cameron Williams, and Miles Hinton possess potential but require development, and relying on untested players mid-season carries inherent risk. Injuries to key contributors, including Lane Johnson and interior linemen, emphasize the fragility of the roster and the importance of planning for contingencies. The Eagles must find a way to maximize the output of their veteran players while simultaneously nurturing emerging talent, striking a balance that allows them to remain competitive in a demanding conference. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling around Philadelphia after what insiders are calling one of the most explosive locker room moments of the season. According to people close to the situation, Jalen Hurts may have finally reached his breaking point, letting out a raw and unfiltered truth that few in his position would ever dare to speak aloud. The usually composed quarterback, known for measured words and calm leadership, reportedly raised his voice behind closed doors and delivered a harsh critique of the Eagles' front office, so harsh that staffers nearby were left stunned in silence. Sources say Hurts' frustration has been building for a long time, fueled by internal decisions he allegedly feels are inconsistent, reactive, and lacking clear direction. The phrase echoing through the facility, "The Eagles' leadership is horrible," has become the centerpiece of the unfolding drama. Whether he said it exactly in those terms, or if it's a product of murmured retellings, no one seems entirely sure. But the sentiment, people insist, is very real. Players have noticed tension creeping into the building. Some describe a strange atmosphere, as if everyone is pretending nothing happened while simultaneously waiting for the next tremor. Others quietly suggest that Hurts is voicing what many have long thought but never had the platform or the courage to articulate. What makes the situation even more intriguing is the way it's spreading through league circles. Executives from other teams are said to be watching closely, curious about whether this rift could widen or simply fade into the background as the season moves along. Meanwhile, fans are left in the dark, piecing together hints from cryptic social media posts and sideline body language. No one knows what the long-term impact will be, but one thing is clear: something has shifted. Hurts, normally the perfect corporate warrior, seems unwilling to shield the organization from criticism any longer. And if the whispers coming out of the facility are accurate, the Eagles might be facing a storm not from the outside, but from the very leader they depend on most. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.